What's up, kids?
What's going on?
Welcome back to Snackcast.
Yeah, man.
We are continuing on with gateway drugs. If you don't know what they are, go 2 episodes back. We kind of explain it there.
Talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor.
Doctor?
So settle down. What was that? Spies Like Us?
Yeah. Doctor.
So today's gateway drug, antibiotics.
Yeah. Antibiotics aren't something that you can really just, hey, I want to take an antibiotic. Not unless you're like in Mexico or something, I suppose. But antibiotics can, they feel like they could alleviate symptoms and cause you to, hey, I took an antibiotic, I got better, and then cause you more to do that again and again and again.
Well, and I think, yeah, antibiotics are critically important.
Right.
But my opinion is, and it's not just my opinion, it's documented, that it's the over-prescribing.
Yeah, it's like, 40+% or something is one of the numbers?
The information I saw, it's from the CDC, and it's in 2016, they're overprescribed 30% of the time.
Yeah, I guess there was another estimate or something that said 45. So I'm sure it's just unknown, right? I mean, how do you tell if it was overprescribed or not?
Right.
But I mean, guilty. Have you ever not gone into a doctor's office or gone into a doctor's office before and the doc didn't want to prescribe the antibiotic and you were like, listen, you're going to do it.
Yeah, and even it's hard to say they don't work, right? Because all right, so which one? There's bacterial and there's viral.
Correct.
And antibiotics help with bacterial conditions,
Yes.
not viral.
Yes.
Viral pass on their own.
Right.
But if you look at the time cycle of, I don't feel good, I'm stuffy, it takes 3-4 days usually before you might go see your doc to get a script.
And then you got a script, and then 3 or 4 more days, and
you're feeling better.
You're feeling better, and you attribute it to...
It had to be the Z-Pack, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, whereas the cycle of a viral infection generally it's like 7 to 10 days, right?
Yeah. Viral infections can lead into bacterial infections, and again, with my asthma, that's what tended to happen. As I would get a viral infection, it would cause all kinds of stuffiness up here. I would be inflamed, and then that would drip down into my lungs, which eventually would cause a bacterial infection.
Right, got it.
So there are cases where your virus can lead to a bacterial infection. Most of the things that you think of, like the common cold, your antibiotic's not going to help that at all.
Right.
Your typical sinusitis, your typical inflamed sinuses, right, are not going to be fixed by bacterial infection.
Well, and Dr. Ken Berry, who wrote Lies My Doctor Told Me, he kind of goes into that. And he speculated, I guess. I don't know that he had data around this, but oftentimes when a doctor can't quite figure it out or they think it might be viral, the idea of sending a patient away with nothing, the patient starts going...
They want to help.
Right.
I mean, that's in their nature. That's why most of them got into medicine. Not for the money, it was to help people.
Right.
So they're inclined to help them. And to your point, like...
They got nothing else to
go
do.
Drink, go have some chicken soup and call me in 7 days if this is bad. I mean,
most
by the
people
way,
will not accept that, right?
Here's my bill of $150.
Right.
That kind of stings a little.
Right.
Doc, I want to feel better now. Now. So, all right. So... Constantly taking antibiotics. What are the downfalls?
Oh, there's constantly?
Well,
there's a lot because you become resistant.
Right. So resistance is not only resistant for you, but you also pass on any of the bacterial, any of the viral, well, let me say that, any of the, I guess, bacterial resistant properties that pass along.
Okay.
You pass it along I pass it from the virus on to Scott, or the bacteria onto Scott, and it survived the bacterial infection, right? It goes on to you and you get sick. I could have trained that bacteria to not be fixed by an antibiotic.
Okay,
I guess
that was a lot of work.
That was a lot of work in order to get it out what I really meant.
So I have a quote here from. Do you know who the current CDC director is?
No idea.
Okay, so I don't know if he's still the current, because of course this is 2016. But that CDC, he says his name is CDC Director Tom Frieden, Frieden. Quote, antibiotics are life-saving drugs, and if we continue down the road of inappropriate use, we'll lose the most powerful tool we have to fight life-threatening infections.
Right.
That's a pretty bold statement from the director of the CDC. Love the CDC or not, a lot of people post-COVID, lost a little bit of respect for what comes out of that organization. But, that's a pretty bold statement. Because keep in mind, when I think they get things wrong, it's often on the side of Big Pharma. This is not the side of Big Pharma.
Right.
That's
a great.
How many doses 30% in 2016 equaled? 47 million improper doses of antibiotics.
Right. So that's a lot.
And I don't know what a dose costs, but
right.
if it's $1 a piece, that's $50 million.
Right.
So,
superbugs can come up, right? Antibiotic resistant bacteria, they can come up, and that kills, I think, 35,000 deaths a year. 2.8 million people got superbugs last year. Well, maybe not last year.
Do we have
we call it everything COVID
an example of a superbug? Is that like gastrointestinal or something?
Yeah, I think they're all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, I think. But yeah, to your point about all right, so what's the damage to you, right? So the damage is antibiotic resistance, but what else? Are you aware of anything else that causes? I'm setting you up here.
Other than side effects, there's a laundry list of side effects. One of the things the CDC warned about was overuse has in some cases led to death.
Premature death, yeah.
Via diarrhea.
Yay!
Sorry for dropping that little mind nugget on you.
So yeah, you're even proving the point here.
Death by diarrhea.
Antibiotics destroy your gut biome.
Yes.
What do we know about the gut?
Oh, it's like home for most of the hormone.
Immune, right? The immune system.
Yeah.
The immune system lives in your gut. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. So antibiotics destroy the gut biome, right? You mentioned premature death. It can also, when you become resistant and everything else, you could have pneumonia, meningitis, sinus infections all the time. So it's like, hey, I took this once, I got better. I'm going to take it again. I'm going to get better. I'm going to take it again, get better. Eventually, you take it again, and it doesn't work.
Right.
And you've knocked your own immune system down to the point where you're not going to be able to fight it.
Right. And nothing's going to help.
Right. So get back to what can you do? You get a cold. You feel like crap. What can you do?
Oh, diet, vitamins. We know some alternative healers that administer vitamin C IVs. So I think there's a laundry list. I'd probably just be like, well, I'm going to feel like crap for 10 days and
get over it.
Get over it. Right. I haven't gone for a vitamin C drip or anything. You went for one treatment and felt pretty good.
I thought it was. I thought it was pretty solid. Foods. I think you hit on
vitamin D,
sinus rinse. We mentioned just the other day that'll help.
Yeah.
Vitamin D, getting out in the sun. I'm a big believer in fasting, 48 hours, 72 hours, once a quarter. That helps weed out the crap, promotes your immune system when you do that.
Regrow stem cells.
Regrow stem cells, right. So zinc is a big one. Helps fight viruses.
See, I've heard that, man. I even took some a long time ago, and I was like, this is nonsense. Zinc, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed
It's like
to.
a nasty chewable pill.
Some of them are lozenges, and you can do some of that. Sugar avoidance. Go back to the sugar avoidance.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Well, it's a big enough deal.
Chicken soup.
I'll close this out.
Mom
with
always
this.
said chicken soup.
It's a big enough deal that the CDC has actually dedicated an entire campaign to overuse education. It's called Be Antibiotics Aware. It's a national effort to help fight antibiotic resistance and improve antibiotic prescribing and use. If you want more information, you can go to cdc.gov/antibiotic-use and read up.
Yeah. Bad stuff can happen.
It can. It's a big deal. It's one of those that never gets talked about, you know. And how much sugar are you consuming? Are you getting enough sun? Well,
Right. You get a lot of people that get colds when they don't get out in the sun.
yeah, they run by urgent care. They get an antibiotic script, and
Yeah.
death
gonna leave-
by diarrhea.
I can't think of a
wanna go
worse
that way.
worse way to die, death by diarrhea.
So, all
All
right, guys.
On that note,
Thanks for tuning in. Questions, comments, concerns, hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
stay moving.
See ya.